Bonjour mon ami and welcome to a Parisian inspired video. I'll be your empress for today, Marie Antoinette. No, it's me, Indiana Jones, and welcome to my channel. Today is a very special day because my friend Brenda from Monner's Market is hosting this amazing playlist. I mean, what's better than springtime in Paris? So let's take the next adventure and get started. As you know, I'm a connoisseur of Shabby Chic, and I thought this is a perfect playlist for me. So I'm taking this sign that was originally a Thanksgiving sign that I had received in one of those Michael's $5 grab boxes. That's right. Just turning it over, flipping it over, and I'm just going to do a flip on this. That's right. Using those, I guess, mismatched colors or trial color pods from Home Depot. These are only 50 cents and I use these for my larger craft projects, so I don't have to use my beautiful colors from, plaid paints, and they're usually in these white or beigey colors. This is a very creamy white color and I loved it. I thought it would be perfect for my French country decor. Now I'm going to decoupage. That's right, friends. We're saying French words all the time when we say decoupage because decoupage means decorate with paper. And that's what we're doing. We're decorating with paper. Here I'm using some lovely scrapbook paper that I had that had all these dress forms, and I love dress forms, as I've said before. And I'm just going to make it very rustic and, again, shabby chic inspired and French country inspired. Now I'm using Tim. That's right, Tim Holtz tissues. I love this for decoupage. These tissue papers that come in a roll, they're just absolutely beautiful. I've had this for over a year and look how many projects I've done with it. I'm focusing only on the pink, white, and coral flowers that are on this paper. Now I'm not going to worry about the edges because all I'm going to do is sand that down so I have a nice rustic edge. Again, that's one of the things I love about Shabby Chic is it's a little messy, a little rustic, but it's always beautiful. Next, using the paint that I already had on the brush that I painted underneath that sign, I'm going to dry brush over all the paper and the decoupage paper just to give it a more faded, weathered look. I just wanted the colors to just step back into the background. I don't want this to be the foreground since there is going to be another design that I'm going to add to this. I'm going to add a new element that I really haven't done before. It's not perfect. It's passable, I guess. It's okay. But you guys will be the judge of that when you see the final decor. So now that I've done with all of this, I'm going to let it just sit for a while and dry because the next step, I'm going to start stenciling. I love to stencil. Stenciling is another, I guess, skill that also came from France, I believe. So it just made sense to use all of these different skills here on my project for today. And I've had these stencils, as you can see, for many years now, and I should clean them after I stencil. I've used them so many times. Actually, I kind of like the paint, kind of makes it a little like tougher or whatever, so it's not as bendy and stuff. And I guess the old paint that's on there absorbs, so there's not too much paint going through. I don't know, that's my excuse, but it works for me. So I am lucky enough that I do have a wonderful collection of Parisian inspired stencils. Many of these stencils you can find on my Amazon page. And I'm just using some like brown, sienna brown paint. I didn't want it to be black. I wanted it to be, again, more rustic. And as you can see now, I'm just going to add with my sponge a few touches around the edges of my sign. And now I'm actually, yes, I'm freehand drawing or outlining the Eiffel Tower. I know, I do freehand, people. There's no stencil. I was just trying to do it from memory and I did the best I could. But again, you tell me what you think. Now I'm using this material called Pebo, P-E-B-O, and it's like a relief. It's almost like if you've ever used t-shirt paint, that puffy paint, it's kind of like that. It's a relief, so it's going to have a raised a quality to it. So I'm just going over my I didn't even draw the rest of this. I'm just going by memory, and I'm thinking, okay, this is what the Eiffel Tower looks like, or at least this is what I think it looks like. So I'm just creating an Eiffel Tower, but in this beautiful gold relief paint. I am going to use gold, more gold relief paint and other relief paints, but I did find out how you can make this for yourself. Again, this actual product will be in my Amazon page, so if you want, you can visit there and look under my craft supplies. It is very pricey, and that's why in the next video, I'm going to teach you how to make this for yourself and have more projects with different colors. I only have this in gold and silver because it is so pricey, but I just thought it was a nice touch. I've seen things that are similar to this design at Michael's, and I thought, well, let me just try it out for myself. Now, as I finish up my design, I want to make sure that this again looks very country and rustic, and I think I'm getting there. I don't know, tell me what you think. I love the muted colors and tones in the background. Now on the edges, as I said before, I'm just sanding it down to make sure that there aren't any extra pieces of paper just hanging around on the edges. And again, that also adds to the rustic look of this design. And trying to get some paint there, paint off the edges. And after this, what I'm going to do is I've found this wonderful metal ribbon. I don't know how else to call it. It's a metal trim, and they actually had it at the Dollar Tree. I have seen it for far more expensive at the Hobby Lobby, but I think it's a perfect touch, as you can see at the very bottom of my design. So here you have it. Let me know what you think, if I did a good job with that Eiffel Tower or not. I know this is strange, I know this is a weird combination, but when I heard that this was a Paris-inspired challenge, I thought, what better than Plaster of Paris? Right? I mean, you get it, right? I mean, why not? I know, there's no real correlation, but I wanted to try this out anyway, so here you go. You're suffering through it because I wanted to make it. So I am using Plaster of Paris, which is very readily available at most hardware stores, and it's very easy to mix. It's 2 parts plaster of Paris to 1 part water. So there you saw I used 2 half cups, and these cups I'm not using for food ever again or any of the items here, to 2 half cups of plaster of Paris, or better said 1 cup of plaster of Paris powder for a half cup of water. And I'll tell you that this did an entire branch or bunch of flowers that I had gotten from the Dollar Tree. I had roses and carnations, and I decided to go with roses, of course, for Paris. So once you chop each of the flowers off of the branches or the bunches from the Dollar Tree, use that wire to help you dunk the whole flower, that's right, you heard me, the whole entire flower, into the plaster of Paris mix. You don't have to add more water. If it's too smushy or too rough, you don't want it to be too rough. You want it to cover the rose petals without being too heavy. And in hindsight, I would have added a few little drops more. But again, I did want this to solidify and be very similar to plaster itself. Now, I put it to dry. There's 2 ways that you can put it to dry, either on its side or the way I did it. And in hindsight, once again, I would have used a baker's rack so that whatever, or some kind of netting, so whatever excess would just fall off and not puddle and create these very thick edges on the rose petals themselves. Look at how they came out. They are absolutely beautiful. I was indecisive as to whether you use gold, but since this is a French country look, I decided to use pink. I just love pink in Paris. I don't know why. I just love the combination of something French country, shabby chic, with these light tones of pink and coral and this taupe color as well. So it's not just a monotone. That's what I always love to do, a little bit of shading. But look at how beautiful these flowers came out. These are stunning. You can make frames with them. You can use them on trays. I decided to use it on a basket since it's springtime. I thought it would be the best use of my flowers. And you can see the difference between the ones that dried on their sides and the ones that I dried standing up. As I said before, if you have a baker's rack that you don't need any longer, I would use that, and maybe that would help to keep the flowers a little lighter, and that the plaster would just run off, the extra plaster would run off the petals, so there wouldn't be any like hard edges or heavy edges on these petals. Now just dry brushing them, painting them, you can just dunk them into the paint if you want completely. Next time I am going to dye my plaster of Paris. I have many white flowers left over from an event, so I'm going to use those in the future. But I think if I dye the plaster of Paris mixture beforehand, I think that should work even easier. The other thing I also wanted to create was some plaster of Paris leaves. Those weren't as easy to do. They would fall apart. So I think in the future I'm going to combine plaster of Paris together with air dry clay. I think I can make my own leaves with air dry clay without having to use a mold. So stay tuned. I'm going to come up with some ideas, and I'm going to make some more plaster of Paris flowers, but with smaller flowers. I'm hoping that with smaller flowers, it may be easier to manage them and to use them in more projects. So here I'm just using my hot glue with my Sure Bonder, I haven't said that in a while, Sure Bonder glue gun. And I have an affiliate link down below if you need to get yourself a Sure Bonder glue gun. I have had many glue guns before. Look at how darling. Oh, I love this. I have had many glue guns before, but this is the longest I've ever had one singular glue gun. Now these are beautiful Parisian French inspired vintage labels. And as you know, I love to make them even more vintage by just burning the edges a little bit so that it looks very rustic and shabby chic. So I'm going to make this page available in the description below. If for whatever reason I have any kind of issues with it, I will also include it in my community page. So you can use these wonderful labels as well. I thought, what a perfect addition, because it's just a basket with roses unless you add a Parisian or French label. So this is a beautiful rose, I guess, perfume. And I just thought it was darling for my basket. Again, this is going to be such a useful little item for my home. I'm really considering, or it would be a very nice gift basket for someone you might know out there. And again, Mother's Day is coming up. How romantic and lovely would this be, filled with mom's favorite bath? Oh, this is so cute. Oh, Bath and Body Works items, or perfumes or makeup, anything that you want. Oh gosh, I really love this. I hope you enjoyed this one too, because it was new and different. It was a challenge, but I think in the end it was well worth it. Look how fun. Oh, I love it. I was so thrilled when my good friend Brenda of Monner's Market asked me to be the co-host of this Meet Me in Paris collaboration. I was so inspired, of course, with shabby chic ideas, and it was just so wonderful to collaborate with all my great YouTube friends. Please check out her channel and the playlist down below. All this crafting made me hungry, and what better place to go than my own little Parisian bistro/bakery just around the corner from my home, literally like 5 minutes away. It was my birthday last night, so we came to Bonjour, and Luke and I had a lovely dinner topped off with some cappuccinos. It was the perfect way to end my birthday day, and of course, with all this Parisian inspiration, what could be better? Tin cans seem to be all the rage this year. I am seeing it in so many different crafts. And I thought, since I have this wonderful page of all these beautiful printouts of these Parisian inspired labels from the Graphics Fairy that I put together in the link below, I thought it would be a great way to use this big tin can with one of these lovely French signs. And all I'm doing is decoupaging it, again, a French word, using Mod Podge and placing it on the tin can. Now I decoupaged or I Mod Podged the paper and the can because of all the little ridges. I wanted to make sure that it was adhered well. And again, I never have any complaints when it comes to Mod Podge. It's so easy to use. And all I did was just put on the label, and then I added a beautiful ribbon, the same color orange and the gray. I thought it was a perfect way to just top off this simple tin can vase. It's a great place to store my makeup brushes or my craft brushes. Anyway, I hope you try any one of these designs, and here's the final reveal. As I always say, stay safe, be kind, God bless each and every one of you, and remember to live the adventure. I'll see you again soon with my next adventure. Bye! Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and come back for more, so ring that bell so you're notified for the next adventure.